Welcome back, guys, to another video. Big things are happening with Tesla and also the Boring Company because we're getting a lot more people to talk about the Boring Company. These tunnels are way cheaper than making a traditional subway line. Subways are usually pretty slow and they're not really that efficient right now because the expense and also the money to start a subway line is just way too much. I mean, for each mile of subway in New York City, it costs like almost $1 billion. I mean, it's a very, very expensive type of project. And we're trying to do like major things like trying to connect point A and point B or multiple different cities together. You need a cheap and efficient option, especially how right now a lot of people love driving their cars. And wouldn't it be really cool if we use a boring tunnel and just transport our cars from point A to point B with people in it at like 150 or even 200 miles per hour? And when you come out, you could just simply drive your car to like your next destination or just go home. It just seems like a really unique idea. And several weeks ago, we got the mayor from Fort Lauderdale actually coming to the tunnels in Las Vegas and checking out the Boring Company. The Boring Company recently has been doing some major projects. A lot of people said they're going to fail, but in fact, they're already doing a bunch of tunnels and transportation tubes in Las Vegas. If you check out some of the Twitter links and some of the articles out there, you can already see them doing major progress, and the Las Vegas government is giving them the massive green light to start and finish the project. Whatever Tesla needs and whatever the Boring Company needs, Las Vegas will give it to them. I think the reason why Las Vegas is so willing to get the Boring Company up and running is because their whole entire economy depends on tourism. Obviously, the casinos, the hotels, the restaurants do attract millions of people every single year. But I could bet you that if they could get the first Boring Company tunnel up than anyone else, it could be a massive tourist attraction. You get like reporters, journalists, and also Tesla and also Boring Company lovers all around the globe coming to Las Vegas just to check out the tunnels. I think it's like a really, really good way to get a lot more attraction, which therefore people go to Las Vegas to check out this tunnel, and then, you know, hotels get more money, restaurants, etc., and Las Vegas overall just make more capital. And so far, now you have the mayor of Miami checking out the Boring Company. So you already have several individuals, especially politicians, coming to the Boring Company and checking it out. And every single one of them has always went away and said that the impression was good. They love it. They feel like the Boring Company is the future. And so far, the Boring Company is always in constant communication with several individuals, mayors, politicians, etc. If you need something, if you need more information, the Boring Company will give you. Essentially, they're really trying to market themselves out as a really unique company. I think this is super awesome. And the mayor of Miami is trying to seek to solve some congestion in Miami. If you guys don't know, Miami has some of the worst traffic in the world. If you guys live there, comment below how bad is it. I've never really lived in Miami, so I can't really tell you guys for sure, but looking at some of the pictures and videos, it doesn't look fun. And so far, building a 2-mile tunnel under the Miami River seems to be a good idea. It's going to cost roughly $30 million for that Boring Company tunnel under the river, which is way lower than alternative projects like a subway line, which is probably going to cost you like $500 million or even $1 billion for this 2-mile tunnel. Subway lines, once again, are not cheap. They're extremely big, a lot more explanation. You need to have like the subway stops, etc. Whereas Boring Company, $30 million bucks. That seems pretty cheap. And that way, you could definitely free up some congestion in Miami by creating this 2-mile tube. And eventually, once a lot of major cities are opting in to go for the Boring Company will make a lot more money. And essentially, we could be seeing major companies connecting these tubes together and could see mass transit underground. I mean, this seems pretty popular. Go into the tunnel of a car, come out of the tunnel, and you're in a whole different state. And it could just drive to your nearest McDonald's or your nearest favorite restaurant. It just seems super simple and way more convenient than like the Amtrak, the subway, or it's not even like, it's even more convenient than like using an airplane. So you do have several mayors right now checking out the Boring Company. They're all seem pretty interested, and eyes are at Las Vegas. If we could start getting this up and running in the next couple years, it's gonna look really good for the company. I think Boring Company might even get some international pre-orders, which would definitely make their company even bigger. Last but not least is going to be Tesla demand in Japan is surging. I think it's going to be really beneficial for Tesla. And here's the reason why, and I've been stressing this for a while as well. So the Model 3 essentially was priced at $47,000 USD in Japan. And this is the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus. Now it costs exactly at $40,000. $40,000 is extremely cheap. And I really seem to like the price tag. It's a $7,700 USD knockoff, and that just made the car a lot more affordable. Because the car went from 47K to 40K, pre-orders and also orders for the Tesla Model 3, the standard range, and the long range all spiked up. Orders are going through the roof in Japan, and everyone really wants to be getting an electric car. So far, I think it's a really good idea, and I've been stressing this as well. Like, I really wish they lower the price of the autopilot. I get it. They're adding more things to it. They're adding like more and more features. FSD beta is looking really attractive. Honestly, though, if they don't drag down the price, I'll still get it. Honestly, it's 10 grand. It's very expensive, but you get so much out of it. I just really wish that was maybe like $8,000 or $6,000. Just make it a little bit cheaper so more individuals will probably get the autopilot. Same thing with Tesla vehicles. If they could lower the price, for example, the Model S back down to maybe $70,000, a lot more people will be ordering Tesla vehicles. Same thing with the Model 3 right now. It's already had like a series of price cuts, but can you imagine the Model 3 being below $35,000 USD starting price? Way more people will be buying Teslas here in the US. So that's pretty interesting, and I really do feel like just slowly getting the price down, you will definitely get more consumers. Or just like maybe once every few months, you do like a massive sale, like you get like maybe 5%, 10% price cuts for all Teslas for maybe just a few days. That way you get like a huge surge in demand just for that time period. So right now, Tesla vehicles are selling like hotcakes, not only in Japan, but also China and other areas as well. So I really do feel like Tesla is doing a lot of really cool things right now. They're trying to sell the autopilot software. It's pretty expensive, $10,000. Not everyone can afford it, but if you can, it's really worth it. That's pretty much about it for Tesla. We are getting more and more news about the car company, what they're doing, some major projects coming up. They're trying to get some gigafactories set up, and I feel like 2021 is mostly a big focus on the battery aspect than anything else. Sure, you got Tesla trying to focus on making the cars, trying to make these boring tunnels, etc. But I feel like the majority of the time is spent on battery production. Tesla knows that in the next few years, everyone's going to be making electric vehicles, but not everyone can be getting the batteries. I might actually make a whole separate video just simply talk about Tesla batteries and why this is honestly a super genius plan. I think essentially in the next few years, Tesla will dominate the battery market. It's very similar to how Samsung has these really amazing screen panels, and even though Samsung and Apple are competitors, Samsung still sells their screen panels to Apple, and they both make a profit. So it's actually pretty interesting. That's about it, guys. Definitely going to be seeing more news about Boring Company. There seems to be way more national interest in these tunnels recently than a year ago. So this is looking really good. Thanks for watching.